If you run across a bunch of artists smashing seemingly expensive-looking gear in the alley in the Exchange District this weekend, rest assured, it's for a good cause. Video Pool Media Arts Center is hosting their second annual Smashers Bash on Saturday night in the alley between King Street and Arthur Street, an evening to release tension, frustration, and pure destructive tendencies. And, as I mentioned, all raising some funds for Video Pool's incredible programming. Emma Hendrix is the director of the Video Pool Media Arts Center, joins us live in the Classic 107 studios to tell us more. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us here. First of all, why did the artists of Video Pool have so much anger that they need to exercise in this way?
Well, not just the artists at VP, but the whole arts community, I think.
Everybody's just angry.
A lot of reasons, lots of things to let go of.
I see. Okay, so let's get into some of the idea behind the Smashers Bash. Where did the initial idea to be smashing stuff in the alleyway, the Drayway, as I believe it's called, where did that first come from?
Well, we, as kind of a niche arts center, doing experimental technology-based art, we're always trying to find something that kind of fits with what it is that represents the organization in some way. And so at a board meeting, we were throwing around ideas, and I think it was actually our board chair who initially suggested something along these lines, Hazel Venzen. And we all agreed that this made a lot of sense for the kind of organization that we are and the sort of work that we promote, and it just felt like this is really a VP kind of idea.
I love the imagery of throwing around ideas turning into something that is a Smashers Bash. It feels very fitting for what we're talking about here. As we mentioned, this is the second annual Smashers Bash. What was the event like in its first year, and what was the response that Video Pool got?
The first year was really fun because always the first time you do something is always particularly fun. But we were also renovating a new space in our we're in art space, and so we were taking over some more space on the second floor, and so at the time of doing it, we had torn down some walls, and that was about it. So it was a very raw space. So we just, so we did all the smashing in there, and it felt very apropos. And it was great. We had a really good turnout, and you could just if we had photographers and videographers, and some of the photos you can tell, like just looking at the audience as they're watching, you can figure out which pieces were being smashed at that time because there were some really iconic moments. Oh,
I bet. Okay, maybe even more brass tacks. What kinds of things will all be smashed this weekend?
Well, so there's two ways to kind of participate. So there's a Rage Cage ticket, which is a ticket that will get you a guaranteed opportunity to smash. And a lot of those items are going to be kind of smaller items. Like there's a lot of plates and cups and glasses and things like that.
Yeah.
And so with the Rage Cage ticket, you kind of get your choice. So when your name gets drawn, you get to choose from this pile of stuff. And then we'll have some larger items that people can kind of put their ticket in to see if their name gets drawn.
Oh, okay.
And those are going to be, they're larger items, so I won't reveal all of them. But
it's right. Sure.
But last year we had this, and we've got it again this year. One of our board members, Vanessa Ides, has made a 3-layer cake that will be smashable, and it's not all pure cake. It's she's built a whole bunch of it to look like a cake, but it's just so fantastic, and so that will be one of the special items.
All right.
There's a 55-inch television. There's gnomes, like some garden gnomes that you can smash, and a lot of other things. And there's still stuff coming in. So.
And obviously, people have to get their tickets in order to find out the full breadth of the smashing capacity that Video Pool has. we mentioned that this is also supporting a good cause through Video Pool. What does the money raised help you do as an organization?
Thanks for asking that question. So we do a lot of, it's all based on technology-based art, experimental technology-based art, which, so what we do is we teach people how to use different types of technology, whether it's software or hardware. Sometimes it's old technology, sometimes it's new. But it's just to kind of ensure that people are able to sort of keep up with the various technologies and have discussions about it as well. So, all of our gallery shows are free. Our artist talks are always free. The workshops that we run, we try to keep those as inexpensive as possible. So we also have this classroom, we have a venue, we have some specific production facilities. So we have like a 8-channel suite for doing audio or video work.
Sure.
And then we have this analog AV suite. I'm mentioning all of that because part of what we're trying to do is to do some renovations in our venue. And our venue is something that's available to like anybody in Winnipeg. You can come and rent it or use it, or members do shows there and things like that. So we're trying to, there's some renovations we need to do in that space.
Okay, so that will then allow so many of the artists that we've talked to about Video Pool programming over the last year. I think about Zoe Lebrun and The Body is a Score, or Evan Tremblay and Mahalit Cuff over in the spring with their creation of a Black Utopia, as I recall, this like queer black dance club, or Bing and TV, created by, in part, the former RBC assistant conductor of the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra, Naomi Wu, which was on just a few weeks ago. What does smashing things do for inspiration in the Video Pool community? In other words, when things are being thrown against the wall and deconstructed, what are the conversations like amongst the community at Video Pool about, hey, you know what this gives me an idea for? Has that happened yet in your experience in the Smashers Bash? I know it's a small sample size.
Yeah, I can't say that we've had specific conversations in that way, but I think that there is a parallel just in terms of the type of experimental work that people are making in the center. That I think has a relationship to the sort of the catharsis of and that release, and just that the work that's being made, it isn't always meant to be, a straight narrative or some way that sort of like directs you through something, but rather it's meant to be an experience, and I think all of the smashing and that sort of that release is similar and serves a similar purpose to some of the work that gets made.
Absolutely. So take that as your note, Winnipeg. If you're looking for a bit of creative inspiration, maybe you just need to go and smash some stuff in the alley at King Street and Arthur Street beside Video Pool Media Arts Center. The Smashers Bash takes place at 7 o'clock on Saturday, August the 23rd. The smashing officially begins at 8. I understand there's a bit of karaoke and some mocktails as well available for folks as part of the event. That's going to be just a fun add-on to what is already going to be such a fun, cathartic evening. We'll have more information at our website, classic107.com, and the Classic 107 app a little bit later on this morning. Emma Hendrix, this sounds incredible. Thank you so much for joining us here in the Classic 107 studios to tell us more about it.
Thank you very much for having us in, and we appreciate all the support that we get from Classic 107, and it's really great to be here.